the real war gamer. Rebel Yell, Small Unit Tactics of the American Civil War. Game from the mid-90s. Thought I'd talk about the game displays, Rebel Yell game displays that I've been mentioning. So you have a nice, I like this round game turn segment wheel, I guess you could call it. Makes sense when you have many different highly focused, discrete segments. So you have A all the way through O, and they're color coded. The color coding in the middle there is broken down by the level of, or modules, or the module that you're playing at, or I guess I should say the highest module you're playing at. So it tells you modules 1 through 4, and I'm starting module 3 here, which is why I'm going over some of this. It tells you modules 1 through 4 use the segments with the white letters against black backgrounds. So B, F, G, I, M, N, and O. And then when you get to modules 5 through 6, or 5 and 6, you add the white letters and the segments with the black letters and white background. So you're adding A, E, H, and L. Yeah, and then modules 7 and 8 use all this. So there is a module 8. Or, unless that's a mistake. I don't remember a module 8. Yeah, there's no module 8. Alright, I guess maybe there was a module 8 at some point, because the rules clearly go up to module 7. Rules for Bryce's Crossroads. Module 7 rules. Unless somewhere in the rules here. This is not a simple rule book. I like it a lot though, but it's not simple. So maybe somewhere in there they explain what module 8 is. But as far as table of contents goes, I only see 7 modules. But this also could just be a typo. I mean, a artifact from an older version. Here we have command radius. You have your CSA, and down your USA you have 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 1st Cavalry, 2nd Cavalry. These are the brigades, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 1st Cav, 2nd Cav. Same for USA. I don't know what this is for, because I haven't found this in the rules yet. I'm sure it is used. Maybe it's used in the separate standalone game that comes in the box. I'm not sure, but it looks like a way to mark variable command radius for each brigade. But the rules that I've read so far, and I'm not even close to reading them all, only talks about fixed command radius. So I don't know, but that's what these tracks are over here. Up here you have a game turn track, nothing special, but game turn marker on the first turn. So this scenario, the third scenario that goes with module 3 here, it has 10 turns. So I put my own little, backstop marker here, so I remember 1 through 10 turns. I put so on turn 7, I put the Union commander, brigade commander, the 3rd brigade commander there. I put him on the turn track on turn 7 because that's when his brigade, this is his brigade here, 1 3 2 3 3 3 and 4 3. They come on they come into play turn 7. Right here, I believe right here on the first turn, the Confederate, I have them arrayed here because they come in on the west side of the map, which is this side, within the first 15 hexes from the south. So again, I have another backstop marker there to remind me that this brigade, the 1st Brigade, Confederate 1st Brigade, can come in anywhere here, as well as the division commander. So clearly what we're adding, or I should say the most important addition, not the only addition, but the most important addition for Module 3 here is the leaders. So obviously I've mentioned one brigade for the Confederate side, one brigade for the Union side coming in as reinforcements. Otherwise, each side starts with 2 brigades on the board, and the Unions start off setting up on these on the map. There are these you can't see them. These are these red stars, and you have to cover all the red stars. They go in a straight line across here. It's about 15 hexes, it looks like. About 15 hexes or so. So they start in a line. The Confederates, I think they start on map D. Here's the map seam there you can see. So this is map D over here. So the Confederates have to start on map D. So they have to start from this line west and south of the Union line, no closer than 4 hexes. So my idea here, by the way, is to my idea was to advance the Confederate line online and basically echelon right like this, and have the reinforcing brigade over here come in and try to roll up the Union right flank here. The only problem is they have to fight through the woods there, but it looks like it's mostly light woods. They have to fight, and there's also an elevation change there. So they're basically going up. Let's see, up. Yeah, they're going up over a low ridge here, low ridge here, and also through the woods. But they're going to try to roll up the Union right flank there. Yeah. So we have. Obviously, we have more troops involved now with scenario 3, module 3 scenario. More troops involved, and we're adding the leaders. So that's the big thing. So let's see, I think they were in it. Yeah, so here is 3rd Brigade, right? So we go, here's 1-3. Where's 2-3? Oh, 2-3 is here. Yeah, 2-3 is stacked there. 3-3 and 4-3, 3rd Brigade all together. And again, we're adding these brigade commanders. Obviously, as you can see, they have no backs, so they're just one-sided. As you can see, they are generic, and I have no problem with that. I probably should talk about the genericness. So I want to say some things about the modular, is it modular or programmed instruction? I want to talk about the program instruction. I want to talk about the design in general. I guess you could say the complexity and or detail, complexity and detail, and then the genericness. But in any case, we're adding commanders. So I decided to put the 3rd Brigade commander here with the regimental flag there. The 2nd Brigade over here has their commander. There is 2nd Brigade commander back there. All right, and the 3rd Brigade, I'm sorry, 1st Brigade and the division commander come in as reinforcements. And similarly on the Union line, I think we've got, there's the brigade commander, etc. But the idea is, yeah, I forgot my rules lead in. Okay, leaders and command radius. To be in command, a unit must be stacked with or be adjacent to its flag. We've actually already covered that. And that flag must be within 4 hexes of the appropriate brigade leader. So I'm just going to check one. Let's check Union 2nd Brigade here. So yeah, so there we go. 2nd Brigade, my problem for trying to read upside down. That is my fault for trying to read upside down. 1 2 4 2 2 2 2 and 3 2. Wait, something's yeah. How did that get messed up? How did that get messed up? Oh, just wasn't paying attention. There we go. 4 2 2 2 3 2 maybe. All right. So like that. Okay, so is that even all on the screen? I don't know. So here's the brigade commander. Obviously each of the flags, regimental flags, is within 4 hexes of the brigade commander, or leader. I guess they call them leaders here in this game, which is okay. Brigade leaders may only command units of their own brigade, obviously. So 2nd Brigade leader here for all of these units. All brigade leaders have a command radius of 4 hexes. When determining the command radius, count the hex of the flag in question, but not the brigade leader's hex. So, for example, I can count here 1 2. I count this one 1 2 3. Yeah, so it's within 4. A command radius may not be traced through an EZOC unoccupied by a friendly unit. So you can trace through an EZOC if you have a friendly unit in that hex. A command radius may not be traced through an enemy occupied hex. That makes sense. A command radius may not be traced through. Now this is peculiar. It makes sense, but it's peculiar. So this is not. I should say this is not pure. Well, first of all, it's already not pure like radio radius, radio style radius, because we've already talked about having to avoid not friendly occupied EZOCs and enemy occupied hexes. But in addition, there's one particular stipulation here that will affect. Yeah, I think it'll come into play enough. So a command radius may not be traced through more than 2 woods, not light woods. So woods, so we're talking again, which I really like. So these are all woods. These are light woods, light woods, light woods, light woods, light woods. So you can see the difference. Sparsely wooded hexes versus relatively more dense wooded hexes. So these are woods hexes, these are light woods hexes. So may not be traced through more than 2 woods or marsh hexes unless it's, oh, that actually could apply. Well, oh man, here we are with these partial hexes. All right. I don't know how to deal with these partial hexes, but for now I'll go with the simplest. If there's any woods in it, it's a woods hex, but I do not know if that's what's intended. So this would be a woods hex. This is a light woods hex. So you do go, so I'm counting from this flag. I go, what do I do? I go 1. No, I go 1, 2. And I'm only tracing through 1 woods hex. But you cannot trace through more than 2. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, this is another good example. This is actually an example of what I'm talking about, because I want to talk about no more than 2. So assuming, again, assuming, I need to figure this out before we have our combat. Assuming for right now that these are woods hexes, again, you're tracing from 1, 2 back to the 2nd Brigade leader. So you go 1. Oh, well, I guess you don't consider that through. So 1, 2, 3. So you're good. You did not trace through more than 2. Oh, 2 woods hexes. Now, one thing that I did. wasn't expecting to be dexterous today. One thing I noticed just from, actually it's from the example in the rule book, it does not say anything about contiguous woods hexes. So that means that let's see, that means that more than two. What's a good example? Okay, well, this probably is something that you want to see a physical example of, but again, it's more than two woods hexes as you trace the line, so they don't have to be contiguous. Okay, I noticed that. Okay, there's an exception. Unless this path follows the exact route of a thoroughfare, meaning pike, road, or trail. In this case, thoroughfare should be treated as clear terrain. So, where's an example? I don't have a good example in this part of the battlefield, but we do have there should be a pike there. So in this pike here, except these are all light woods though, but if these were all woods hexes, you could trace along this pike without that limitation of no more than two woods hexes. Okay, any unrouted unit stacked with its brigade leaders automatically in command regardless of the range to its flag. That's kind of, I like that rule. I look at that as like direct command. Yeah, direct command or command by presence. Brigade leaders may not command units from a different brigade. That's the exact opposite of the earlier. Brigade leaders may only command units of their own brigade. All right. Combat units cannot directly trace command to a brigade leader. This is important. So combat units cannot directly trace command to a brigade leader. They must trace command through their flag and thence to their leader. Yeah, that's important. So let me see, good example. No, that's not a good example. Okay, so here's the brigade commander, leader. Let me see example. Now I'm gonna mess my thing up here, but here, this is 2 units don't trace this way to the brigade commander. They trace to their regimental flag, and then from regimental flag to brigade. Now the exception is the effects of being out of command control are unchanged from the previous module, like we've already talked about. So those are the effects of being out of command. Those are the same as before. Divisional leaders have no command radius. They may only command units with which they are stacked, so they can only use direct command. Divisional leaders may also command a flag, and thus an entire regiment, with which it is stacked. I like that. So the division leader can kind of take command of a brigade by stacking with the or a regiment. A division can take command of a regiment by stacking with its flag. Wait, there's... Whoa. Yeah, there it is. Any unrouted unit stacked with its brigade leader is automatically in command, regardless of range to its flag. Okay, I guess that's all covered. So where was my? I guess I was like that. I think I was like that. Okay. That is the rules read. Now, just to finish off this video, there were some things I wanted to comment on. Yeah, I don't do good off the cuff, and these are always off the cuff. Was it? I guess we'll start with detail and complexity. I just asked myself, where are... Oh, well, no, wait. The first thing is I cannot say enough good things about this game. But that doesn't mean that I think it's perfect. No game is perfect. Haven't found the perfect game yet. They're not. It's not that there aren't a few little things that I would change, but games where I say I just cannot say enough good things about it, which includes Death Ride series, for example, means that those few things I would change, really tweak, really fine-tune, are just not even significant enough to affect the overall idea of just an A+ effort, all right, an A product here, to grade it. Cannot say enough good things about it. Yeah, complexity and detail. I mean, where are games like this today? Now, the Death Ride series qualifies, but we're talking one series? I mean, wow. Now, I think about the great battles of the American Civil War. I think about the great battles of the American Civil War because I am looking forward to trying those someday, and hopefully someday soon. But I don't consider those a new design. Where are games like this? I don't know. I think about that, and then I think about if this game were redone today, what would it look like? Which is just so fascinating to consider because, of course, this same designer has published a more recent series, the Huzzah series, which, if I remember correctly, is by definition intended to be a simplification, which I don't want, of this game. I don't want any simplification from this game, and a streamlining. And I don't want streamlining from this. So if the newer series from this same designer qualifies as what this game would look like if updated to the present, then that's not a success for me, and not a success in my view. And of course, the very first response is there aren't games like this today because gamers today don't want to play games like this. Obviously, I understand that's the very first response. But if that is the way it is, then that's the way it is, and I'm glad that very, very, very glad that I took the time to get a hold of this design. And I had a unplayed, unpunched copy here. It's kind of funny because I took a big chance on this, and I don't normally take big chances on games like this, but I did. Okay, there's something else. I understand that the programmed instruction has not been well received by all gamers. No, that's not a good way to put it. I will say I understand that out there on the internet world, the world of the internet, there is some dissatisfaction expressed with the program instruction. It's been great for me. I have purposely and deliberately tried to follow the program instruction, although it's been very hard not to peek ahead at what's coming, but I've tried very hard to use the program instruction as originally intended, and I do see what might be a problem. It's just not a problem for me. It's just not, and it has worked for me. So I just want to point that out. So I think this form of programmed instruction is not a failure for all gamers. One more. I think I did hit everything I said I was about genericness, and so I understand that again, out there in the world of the internet, there is an opinion, which is entirely understandable because it's true. There's an absolute genericness on one level. I guess at the chit level, I'll say at the chit level, but not necessarily the unit level, but at the chit level, there is a genericness to this. The leaders, obviously, division leader doesn't get more generic than this, but I just have to say, it just really doesn't bother me. Not only does it not bother me, I will say that, not only does it not bother me, but I will say that the rules, the complexity, and the detail make it so that it is no problem for me to get drawn into the detail, the action, not the detail, that's redundant, but the detail and the complexity absolutely draw me in to the action. And so whatever blandness and genericness there might be, again, like I said, at the chit level, really is not relevant to me. Just doesn't, I never ever think, I guess it's just the kind of gamer I am. I never think in terms of genericness here. Quite the opposite. Now I say quite the opposite because one thing that's really obvious is that when you have, like, I'll pull out 4-2 here. So here's 4-2 regiment. 4-2 regiment is made up of, here's the regimental flag, and it has 6 companies. It has 3 companies here in this hex and 3 companies here next. Now, I believe even the scenario instructions tell you have to set up by spreading out your regiments as evenly as possible, and the Union have to occupy all the starred hexes, etc. But that aside, what is so great to me, and I didn't see it immediately, but now I see it. So regiment, at this level, at this scale and scope, which I'm really, really, really liking, like this regiment, it can mass all like that. It can spread out to be an even line, right? You can choose to weight a flank, so to speak, weight a flank. You can spread out, obviously, even more, and in no way do you have to, in play, in no way do you have to stay evenly. I mean, you can weight, I can weight the right flank like that. This is all what I understand. I'm pretty sure it's correct. You can refuse a flank. You don't have to be, you don't have to be faced in the same direction. So you could do that. I mean, you could hedgehog. I mean, it's just, that's the flexibility, whatever you want to call it, that I just really, really, really like. And so if you go up one scale, I don't know if you would maybe you would say maybe 2 hexes to go up to the La Bataille level. Since I don't have a American Civil War example yet for the next level up, but I'll think of the La Bataille series. Maybe 2 hexes is 1 for La Bataille. And so, first of all, you couldn't get this type of, I'll call it articulation. You couldn't get this kind of force articulation with a regimental unit in 1 hex. You just couldn't. I mean, you might have like put a refuse right flank marker on that 1 regimental unit, I guess. But I'm not doing necessarily a great job explaining this, but in the rules, like the regiment, they're adjacent to the flag, which in effect means you can spread out online. You can spread out from 1 to 3 hexes in this case, but of course you don't even have to be a line. You could be a kind of mass, and again, you can articulate with different facings and different distributions of force. That all to me is, I mean, that creates interest, creates a connection to what's going on. I don't know. Again, I don't feel like I have a good way of explaining it, but once I saw that, I was like, yeah, I like that level of play, I guess you could say. All right, I've not done a good explanation of that at all. I don't think a very good, not very good expression of what I'm trying to get at, but I just fail to see genericness, right? When I'm looking, see, what I mean is, this is one unit, you know, and like this is one unit, and like 2.2 is made up of 4 companies, and then each of those companies, I'll say can be, each of those companies can be in its own level of disorganization and have its own number of O hits or organization hits. If you think of it all as one unit, you get a kind of, you know, again, a detail that is fascinating. Yeah, I don't know how else to put it. Poorly put, but that's why I think that's one reason why I don't see blandness, genericness.